Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and, of course, promoter of Alexander Usyk, Alex Krasuk, in a very picturesque Poland at the moment. How are you doing?
It really is. Thanks, Danny. All good. Yourself? How is it going?
Yeah, very good. Very good. The news at the weekend took me by surprise. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. But you guys, Alexander, has signed with Skills Challenge Promotions in Saudi Arabia. And I guess the first question is why them, and how long have you guys been considering this partnership?
So, to start with, we did it on purpose to get everyone surprised.
Yeah.
But it was not just only one purpose. The main objective, the most important thing for us all to join our efforts in order to deliver the biggest fight of the century in heavyweight division. So, to make it happen, it's been a while since we started to try. Almost a year has passed since Alexander Usyk defended his titles with Anthony Joshua in the rematch. And the talk started, but never got materialized. Now we came together with Prince Khalid, with his team of Skill Challenge, with Omar Nasser, with Amer Abdullah, very important people in boxing. We put everything on the table and started to analyze what should be done. And the first step to make it show really, really serious, we made this signing and we announced it publicly that we are here. We are in Saudi Arabia and we are looking for the biggest fight of the century to take place there. Now, Mr. Luke Tyson Fury has no place to run, no place to hide. He has either to take the challenge or to vacate the belt and retire forever, not for 1 week or for 1 month as he used to in the past.
Why do you feel that signing with Skills Challenge makes a fight with Tyson Fury, undisputed, more likely? What do they offer that you haven't had before?
Because Saudi Arabia is the new destination for the biggest fights in boxing. And we all saw the first event when AJ had the rematch with the Mexican guy. Andy Ruiz Jr. We all saw Alexander Usyk giving rematch to AJ in Jeddah, Rage on the Red Sea, and we all now want to see. There was also one more media fight, which was not big from the sports point of view, but was really massive from the media coverage, which was Jake Paul with Tommy Fury. That was a good one. And what these guys deliver to the market is something extraordinary. They've got a completely different approach that is not common for normal boxing markets like UK, USA, or Europe. They do it different, but they do it very good. And that's why we are confident that if this fight is possible to happen, it will definitely happen in the Saudi Arabia, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So what I'm trying to work out is why did you have to sign a formal agreement? Why could Skills Challenge not just have promoted the Fury Usyk fight on its own?
Because Tyson Fury never treated it seriously. He didn't think this is serious. We tried to make it happen in London, but he didn't look serious at all. We all saw him browsing some stuff in the supermarket or in a shopping mall when he was making an offer to Alexander Usyk on 70-30, which didn't look impressive at all. So it means that this time we have plenty of time in advance and we show the real intention to stage this fight. Of course, we are not overlooking our next opponent, who is Daniel Dubois, and the fight is going to happen at the end of the summer. But this is our strategic direction, which we are taking.
Now, we've seen some more big news in the sports world from Saudi Arabia come out just about an hour ago, in that the PGA Golf Tour is merging with the Live Golf Tour to create a huge combined tour and a combined organization in golf. It very much underlines the fact that Saudi Arabia is a huge center point now for sport around the world. What do you think this means overall, particularly for boxing?
It means that fans will be delighted to see what they always wanted to see, is to define who is the better man in heavyweight division, who is the toughest man in this division, and who is the one and only to take all four belts from the ring. So this is something that is really, really complicated to deliver in a normal market like the US or the UK, but these guys can make it possible.
And do you think Tyson Fury has a strong relationship with the guys at Skills Challenge? Is that part of the appeal to signing with them?
Let me share my observations regarding Tyson Fury. You know why Usyk called him greedy belly? Because Tyson loves money. If this guy loves money, money will be delivered to him. Very simple.
Well, hopefully he'll be watching this. I do have to ask you about some of the criticism, not just of the signing, but also of the stuff with golf that I just mentioned. Amnesty International quickly put out a statement after the golf announcement to say this is the latest example of Saudi Arabia trying to use sport as a way of mitigating, hiding, concealing their human rights record, the sports washing, as it's more commonly known. How aware are you of that situation, and what do you think about those criticisms?
Let me tell you about my impressions.
Sure.
First time when I heard about Saudi Arabia, I had the common knowledge of what I saw on the media, what I read somewhere in the news on the internet, but your impression changes completely for the opposite when you land somewhere in Jeddah or in Riyadh. Because when you land there, you see all those buildings, business centers, shopping malls, expensive cars, beautiful neighborhood, nice sea. If we speak about Jeddah, if we speak about Riyadh, it looks it looks like a huge business city that never sleeps. People walk around, beautiful, expensive restaurants, nice views around, and you feel the atmosphere of normal happy life. I had an opportunity to chat with some Ukrainians who've been working in Saudi Arabia for several months already, and there are plenty of them. Because I've met, within my last trip to Riyadh, I spoke at least to 10 of my compatriots who used to work in Saudi Arabia. The impression is, well, it's not our home. That's why it's kind of difficult to live here, to stay here for a long time, because the customs are different, the traditions are different, the religion is different, and the weather is really hot in summertime. But everything else is beautiful. People treat you with respect and honor. You get paid what you deserve, and you have an opportunity to plan your future. This is something that I can confirm from my side. Having already got some experience dealing with these people on the boxing shows, I can confirm that I've never had any negative from their side. I never heard anything that would break my opinion or would change it somehow. I can't tell you in general because I've been dealing with Saudi only for the purpose of boxing, but I just shared my general experience and my impression about this country.
And I should ask, how much does that even play into your thinking as a boxing promoter? If the Saudi government or Skills Challenge were using sport to, burnish their reputation, if they're still offering you the best deal for your fighter, how much as a businessman do you think about the moral and ethical side?
To think about moral and ethical side, you have to face some troubles before. I mean, if you are choosing between, let's say, selling your conscience for money just because the money is big, this is not the way we used to work. Not in the past, not in the present. No, we're gonna work this way in the future. But let me tell you something. These guys like Cristiano Ronaldo, like Karim Benzema, uh, they are choosing this country and they are treated well. And it's not about sports itself. They've got that music festival, electronic music festival that happens in the desert and on the sea. They have the beautiful exhibitions. They've got the movie cinema festival, which is happening already probably 3 years, and it is growing really high, and it's expanding its boundaries. And many people, many Hollywood stars can come, but it's very difficult to put your opinion about the place where you've never been. It's like telling someone how sweet sugar is without giving him a chance to taste it. You will never explain how sweet it is unless someone tries, or someone will never understand how good it is unless it tries. So that means that you have to create your opinion about the country on your own experience. So when you come, when you see how it's going, then you can conclude. Otherwise, it's just manipulation.
Now, one more issue that's drawn some criticism, although more speculation, I think it's fair to say, and you might be able to lay this to rest anyway. Some people online are talking about links potentially between Skills Challenge and Daniel Kinahan, who is obviously a very controversial figure who has been involved in boxing in the past. From what I can tell, and I'm not an expert, this seems to be mainly due to the presence on Skills Challenge of Amr Abdallah, who has links with Kinahan in the past, we know. Can you reassure people that there's no element of that involved in Skills Challenge now in 2023?
I can reassure everyone that this company is run on their own. Prince Khalid is the person who contacted first Eddie Hearn on social media. That's where they came together. They started to discuss, and the first fight was made like that. And since that time, Prince Khalid expands his company and works on that. His team, wonderful people who love boxing. Fadi, Sarah, these are the part of the company. Of course, I mentioned before Omar Nasser, I mentioned Amer Abdullah. These people know how to treat their guests well. I mean, guests when we come, but we come for business. So we do business there. We accomplish some assignments inside, and all of these people who I just named are professionals. So I can share nothing but pleasant experience with you.
It's good to hear. Now, we talked about Tyson Fury earlier and the troubles making the fight with Usyk in the past. in the past few weeks, we've seen Tyson go to Australia and talk about potentially having a fight there, then making an offer to Anthony Joshua, who already had plans to fight in August and then in December in Saudi Arabia. What did you make of Tyson's behavior in terms of negotiating fights in the last few weeks, watching from a distance?
Tyson Fury is a random thought generator.
Okay.
I can't say more, because you feel pity to see the guy on that level frustrated like he is. He's looking for opponent and he can't find any. You are on the top of the world according to his understanding of his position, and no one wants to fight you. No one wants to fight you. Are you that great? Are you that strong? Everyone's afraid of you? No. Then what's the reason? Professional boxing is a commercial sport. And if a fighter gets in the ring, and if he fights for the world title in the heavyweight division, his participation has to be paid accordingly. If he's fighting a massive star, then he has to be paid like an opponent of the massive star. If you want to buy someone for cheap money, then you're fighting some second or third level opposition. And your fans start laughing at you, because you're not proving how good you are. You're proving it only in the media. You're not proving it in real actions. And that's probably the problem. So he has to reconsider his approach. If he wants his fans to see him fighting big fights, he has to treat other people with respect, especially the ones who share the ring with him. Otherwise, he will think in the nothingness of the boxing history.
And we spoke to Frank Warren last week. You outbid him in the purse bids for Alexander's defense against Daniel Dubois, of course, $8 million to his $5 million bid. So quite a decent victory there for you. He said that the $8 million purse bid result illustrated the value of Alexander Usyk. Referring back to the Fury negotiations, he said, if Daniel Dubois were to fight Tyson Fury, the purse bid result would be a lot higher. And this shows that maybe Usyk was overpricing himself in the Fury negotiations. Now, I know some of the obvious counters to that, but I'd like to hear it from you. What do you make of that opinion from Frank Warren?
If a grandmother has a beard, she would be a grandfather. I don't want to argue, especially on the media, with a well-respected person who I respect myself very much. I understand his position. He needs to defend Tyson from the recent insults he received from his fans. You can just open his Instagram and see what normal people write in the comments under his post, and you will easily form what's going on around Tyson. Yeah, probably the figures for the purse bid would be higher, but the difference is how much would his opponent get at the end of the day. Would he get the same money if the split is 95 to 5? I'm joking, but I'm like trying to figure out what's the real essence of his words. And one more thing: if Tyson Fury is that popular, why does he sell so low figures? Ask Frank Warren what was the result on pay-per-view with his recent fight with Chisora. Did it exceed Usyk fighting Chisora or not? That's a major question that shows the real potential of the fighter. Figures are different because you can win with 100 million pounds, and your fighter receives whatever is left after the show is completely calculated. You know what I mean? So this doesn't show the greatness of Tyson. The greatness of the fighter is not defined by the fighter himself or by his promoter. It is defined by the public, by the boxing fans, who not just click like in Instagram, who put the hand in their pocket and pay real money for the ticket or for pay-per-view permission. This is real appreciation. Everything else is just words. Parole, parole, parole.
So is your plan to have Usyk fight Dubois, and we'll talk about that in a minute, in the summer, and then hopefully Tyson Fury undisputed in December in the Middle East?
This is the plan. This is our plan.
And do you expect Tyson to fight before that in December?
We don't care. It's up to him. He's been trying to figure out his fight since March this year. But he cannot do he cannot complete the assignment. He cannot sign the contract. He cannot make the fight. Usyk is making the fight. AJ is fighting. See the schedule. Everyone's fighting, but only one person who is accusing everyone around hasn't got the fight. It's time to look into the mirror.
Indeed. Now, we talked before about the Dubois fight, and you were working on changing the date so it was closely aligned to Ukrainian Independence Day, of course. Has that now been set in stone?
Yes, we will come up with this officially, but most likely it will go on August 26th in Wrocław Stadium in Poland.
Wow. And why did you choose Poland as the venue for this one?
Since 2015, Usyk did not fight at home as a home fighter. He's now, since that time, he became the undisputed cruiserweight champion and the unified heavyweight champion. And it's probably time for him to be a home fighter, at least once. We cannot do this in Ukraine, unfortunately, and we all know the reason for that. But Poland is our neighbor, our brother country. I don't know how to say, sister country or brother country, maybe both. Because Poland showed real support and respect to our people the first days of the war. And until now, Poland is hosting over 1 million or even 2 million Ukrainian people. So this place can be considered Usyk's home. When he fights in Wrocław, he will be a home fighter. And that's enough for us.
How do you assess the threat of Daniel Dubois?
He's young. He has a dynamite in his glove. He's hungry. I mean, sports-wise, hungry. He's looking for fame, for glory. He's looking for the recognition. And this guy is dangerous. That's why he's dangerous. I mean, we can't say that his boxing skills are higher than Usyk's, but we cannot afford to disregard his positive sides. I mean, he's really strong, he's really motivated, and he's a heavyweight. He's a real heavyweight with a strong punch. Just see his last fight where he got injured with Lorena. He has a big heart. He was down 3 or 4 times, but he accomplished the assignment and he finished the fight inside the distance. Otherwise, he could lose 1 point, but he found that power in his heart to get up to change the picture of the fight and to get the victory. It shows that he's not weak. He's really mentally strong.
And as you've said before, we've seen Usyk fight many great champions all in their own backyard throughout the WBSS tournament. Joshua, obviously, in one of the two fights as well. Is there any challenge in motivation this time around, going in as the favourite, going in at home, and against someone that most people would consider quite a big underdog?
I spent with Usyk 5 days recently, and I can tell you something. This guy is a real professional. There is no difference for him who he's fighting. Either he's fighting Daniel Dubois or he's fighting Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. His preparation, his training camp remains the same. He has to reach some records in his trainings. He has to run faster than he ran in the previous one. He has to swim faster than he swam before. He has to hold his breath for longer, at least for 1 second. He has to ride the bike faster than he did before. He has to do something a little bit more from the past, because his main opponent is himself. And as soon as he overcomes himself, no one is dangerous for him. That is his mindset. That is how he is created, and that is his real attitude to trainings. So regarding Dubois, it's his corner. It's his corner business to define which style Usyk has to perform in the ring. So he will just hand the joystick of himself to his trainer and will do whatever his corner tells him to do. That's how he normally works. And I don't think that Dubois will be an exception.
And talking about his trainer, his corner, Dubois recently changed trainers from Shane McGuigan to Don Charles before the biggest fight of his life. That surely, I mean, you're on the Usyk side, but surely on the Dubois side, that's a cause for concern.
I don't know. We can't anticipate anything, because when you change a trainer, it takes a while to get used to each other, to change the style, to change the approach. We saw Anthony Joshua changing trainer before fighting Usyk. Well, it was a good experience for him, and he did change a lot, because Anthony Joshua in the rematch was a completely different AJ than in the first fight. He was much stronger and much more determined and motivated. With Daniel, I don't know. Probably if he does so, then he needs to do so. Otherwise, he will not grow. That's important.
And just before I let you go, can you give us any indication of what we might see on the undercard of the fight in August?
We keep it secret because we want to bring some pleasant surprise to the public.
How
we're gonna see Ukrainian fighters, we're gonna see Polish fighters, and we're gonna see some UK fighters.
And how involved will Skills Challenge be? Because the event's not in Saudi, of course, but they are now, you know, a promoter of Usyk. So will they be involved in the Polish show?
We've been involved in making the big fight in Saudi, Rage on the Red Sea. We helped them a lot according to what we could do. So we expect them to help us in this fight same manner. So they will be our partners in this promotion, and some of their fighters will be fighting on the card as well.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like a great event to look forward to, and in a very lovely city as well.
Definitely, yes. It's a wonderful stadium. Vitaly Klitschko used to fight Tomasz Adamek on this stadium, I don't know, 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah, it was a long time ago, by the way. It was before Euro 2012, just constructed stadium,
Okay.
and that was the first event to take place on this stadium. I visited it yesterday, and it looks great. It's a wonderful facility, very sophisticated inside. I mean, very beautiful, good looking, located in a very comfortable manner, like easy to reach. And we have over 200,000 Ukrainians living in that area. So we expect the support is going to be exclusive for Usyk.
Just in case Daniel Dubois wasn't worried already, he can now listen to that comment. Alex, really appreciate your time. Very best of luck promoting the event. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you again before it happens.
Thank you, Danny. It was my pleasure as always.
Mine also. Take care.